Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about my progression with emotional crafting and the main strategy of doing it well. Because many people get into spirituality and they try to meditate, and sometimes it works less. And it kind of depends on the meditation, how they feel during the day. But I feel like there's a much more active way to go about it and uh, have your emotions in check and work with them as well and be creative with them as well. The trick to this is to really get into the flow state. So once you get the hang of this method, you'll be able to get into the flow state much more easily and much more uh, at your own at your own will. You'll be able to get into the flow state. So the key to this is knowing your space of inspiration. And then you are in the creative mode once you know your space of inspiration. And finally, you want to be in the receptive mode to also interact with the stuff you create. So in the past, I've talked about uh, trying to act on your best inspiration. When you're truly in the position where inspiration makes full sense to you, you can see that results gravitate according to the law of attraction. But that doesn't really explain how to get into this mode of inspiration. And today I want to get into how you really get into your mode of inspiration, your place of inspiration. So the first real trick to getting your freedom and your alignment with your place of inspiration is to realize that having a present form in this life isn't so odd. So if you look at, if you observe your world around you, you have to realize at the same time it's not that odd to be in a position of observing at all or a position of being alive at all. And this empowers you to then take more action on your own behalf. That really gets you to knowing your space of inspiration. Secondly, I suggest finding alignment with your future interactions. So, if you're spiritual, you start to believe in alignment. You start to believe that the world is not just revolving around you, but also having its connections with a greater form of yourself. So it's not really revolving around the personal self, but it's revolving around the higher self, which we are all tapped into. And you want to align with the future interactions that you're going to have. So I refer to them as my futures, and that's I call upon them right after. Like if I want to get into my inspirational space and my creative mode, I refer to my life as being present as I, and I realize that it's not that uncommon to be present. And then I refer to my futures as to interact with me in this creative mode that I then establish. And finally, once you get that going, once you start listening to music, being in thought with interactions or communications or persons or people that you want to be interacting with, if you're starting to get into creative mode with those, then you finally just have to be in the receptive mode, which is allowing and much more easily tied into the flow state because it's just relaxing your bodily self and being aligned with your higher self at a much more easy way, in a much more easy way. So once you get these three steps under your belt and you really get experience with them, knowing your space of inspiration by referring to your present life as not so uncommon and actually as if you're in your own empowerment, and then referring to the creative space and the creative mode as aligned with your futures and your higher self. And finally, being in the receptive mode to basically go about your day in your alignment and not have to worry about things so much or deal with any complex emotions as much because you know your creative part is done. And once you start practicing those steps, you start to see that more things will show up in your life that you really wanted to and yearn for. And if you want to take this to the extreme, which I often like to do, you really want to get your results during your creative mode with your futures basically that you address, and then you can get crazy results real quick. I suggest you listen to music that you like, and it doesn't have to be the relaxing, calming music necessarily that spirituality usually is attuned with, but you can listen to all kinds of music. Choose your favorite style, your personal favorite style, and get in tune with your music and your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions. That's the big part I still want to explain to you. You want to expand your emotions beyond the body. You want to be really creative with them. You want to be creative with them with other people and with your future interactions and your higher self. You want to interact with all of those through your emotions and thoughts and beliefs. And once you start interacting with those basically full time, you start to see that your life basically becomes what you want it to be, what you are living it to be. It starts to fill itself in basically. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I want to explain for now. It's a 3-step process of knowing your space of inspiration, being in the creative mode, and then finally being in the receptive mode. Many people in spirituality refer to being in the receptive mode initially, and it takes some tricks to get there. Everyone has his own style, so it's not necessarily that you have to do this, but this is a really good way that works for me. So I do suggest you try it at least, and then let me know how it works. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate it a lot, and I'll see you next time.